Welcome to the France 24 Observers. This show is based on our network of observers. They're ordinary people who tell us what's going on where they are and send in photos and videos to document it. We check everything here in Paris and bring the best to you. We begin today in the birthplace of the Arab Spring revolutions, Sidi Bouzid. That's the small Tunisian town where street vendor Mohamed Bouazizi set himself on fire. Now, his name will go down in history, but there's another part of the story that isn't so well known. How the news spread beyond the town to spark a revolution. That was the work of a small group of labor activists, including our observer, Slimane Rouissi. He kept us informed from the very beginning.
Our role in the revolution was to organize and keep the people coming out. We managed to expand the unrest beyond the town of Sidi Bouzid. We got in touch with other parts of the country to make sure they'd support us. As for me, I went to Sheba on the coast to organize a meeting. We discussed how to bring the revolt to the capital, Tunis. When the police turned out en masse in Sidi Bouzid, we started holding rallies at night. We had to make do with what we had, setting fire to tires, throwing Molotov cocktails. We used barbed wire to stop the police on motorbikes. I can say it now, we had informers among the police. They told us what was going on, what was being said in their meetings with the government, and of course we followed the media as news of the revolt spread.
Slimane was on the front lines of the revolution, but 9 months after the fall of President Ben Ali, he's disillusioned. In Tunisia's recent historic election, residents of his hometown voted for his bitter enemies, supporters of Ben Ali and his now disbanded RCD party.
I think the election was free and fair. Here in Sidi Bouzid, the big winners were the Petition Party. They are former members of Ben Ali's RCD, but they were disqualified because of voting irregularities. I went to their campaign rallies to see what they were talking about. They played up regional loyalty. People ended up voting for them because they're headed up by someone from Sidi Bouzid. And they pandered to voters too, offering, for example, a payment of 100 dinar to all the unemployed. But most of all, they had the RCD party machine behind them. The local bigwigs, former RCD committee members, did all they could to make sure the Petition Party won. For people like me, who helped lead the revolution in Sidi Bouzid, it's very difficult to see the same people come back, to see former RCD members win in the cradle of the Tunisian revolution. And when there was looting and violence after they were disqualified, that was the RCD too. Speaking as one of the revolutionaries, let me say it clearly. We'll never have a peaceful society until the people who committed injustices are brought to justice.
Now it's time for our weekly roundup, the best images sent in by our observers. We begin in Sana'a, the capital of Yemen, with Jamila Al-Kameli. She was one of hundreds of Yemeni women who symbolically burned their traditional black veils. The pictures were seen around the world, but they were often misinterpreted. The action, Jamila says, was not a rejection of Islam, but a traditional gesture by Yemeni women, an appeal to the men in their tribe to protect them from danger. In this case, fighting between President Ali Abdullah Saleh and rivals within his own tribe. Now to Gatineau in Quebec, Canada, where an amateur caught this scene on tape. 2 cows have escaped from a truck taking them to the slaughterhouse and are acting aggressively. The police respond and an officer starts shooting. At least 10 shots are fired in all. The video, of course, ends up on YouTube. The police say they had no choice but to shoot. Animal rights activists aren't so sure and are urging the public to send letters to the police chief. Our last stop is Moscow with Maxim Pshenichnikov. Maxim lives in bicycle-friendly Holland. But on a recent trip back to Moscow, he was delighted to find that the Russian capital has finally opened its first dedicated bike lane. The problem is the bike lane's a bit of a challenge, more like an obstacle course. Maxim calls it a touching gesture but useless, though he is glad the authorities at least tried a step in the right direction. That's it for this week, but you can continue to follow our observers online. Check out our website for their latest reports, our Facebook and Twitter pages, and our iPhone app. See you next time here or online.